Let's move on to the first match release of this episode that we're going to be referring to, and I think you'll agree with me, the highlight of the show. The arm wrestling contest between Vinnie Vegas versus Tony Atlas. Heavy Metal Van Hammer had won the arm wrestling. There was a tournament of this thing. A tournament of arm wrestling matches. Oh, God. But thankfully, he's injured, so Tony Atlas, who wasn't entered into the tournament, goes against Kevin Nash, who is, of course, Vinnie Vegas, who's left-handed. Ventura asks Atlas if he's happy to go left-handed, and then he sort of just cuts Tony off when he starts rambling. So he's like, I can do this way, I can do this way, and then I just go, that's great. The arm wrestling portion lasts, seemingly days. But it's 1 minute and 9 seconds. The crowd don't care. Vinnie Vegas wins. Then he says he has the strongest arm in WCW. -5 stars of that one. That was a shocking segment, let me tell you. But what did you make of
it? Pretty much the same thing. But if Kevin does something right afterwards that I had to chuckle at. Right when he comes up and he does the old.
Yes,
I'm like, it was just so typical Kevin Nash. You have to chuckle at it. If you're Kevin Nash, what do you do in that spot? I mean, like it is what it is, and they're going to throw it in there. But I think it does give you a little bit of a look-see into the psyche of Bill Watts. You often hear people like me rave about Bill's booking, and this is one of those things, though, where you can see like those vestiges of those years gone past where fans might have wanted to see an arm wrestling match or whatever. Clearly, this had no place in wrestling in 1993. The business we talked about earlier on the first half of this episode, the business was transitioning and it was looking for something. Younger guys, maybe get the older guys back. It was just a whole lot of stuff swirling there. And I think part of that was, and that's solely Bill's idea, is bringing an arm wrestling match, because back in the day, you had big guys in the bar. Okay, put your hands up, big fellas. Let's see who the stronger guy is. And that clearly had Bill's stamp on it. So with everybody, it's funny that you have to preface it this way, but when you say like with say Vince Russo or Eric Bischoff. And saying, you have to preface by saying, now, I'm not going to, agree with everything they say. There are some things I like, but, and then you give the disclaimer, so that like somebody out there doesn't get butthurt because you said something negative or whatever. I doubt that there's many people on the planet that believe in every single thing that I believe in and exactly as I believe in them. And the same thing goes with booking. I mean, it's neither good nor bad. It just is, so if this is what you would consider to be Eric Bischoff's booking style, and this is Vince Russo's booking style, and this is Jim Cornette's booking style, it's all in the eye of the beholder. There will be fans that would say Jim Cornette's a great booker. Other people would say, oh, can't stand it. Same thing with everybody else. But you have to give that disclaimer up front. To me, I think speaks a lot more as to where where society resides right now. I, as everybody knows out there, I have a very specific taste on wrestling, and I love that flavor of the stuff that I love. And like everybody else, I may not like pistachio ice cream. I may not like this style of booking. That doesn't mean my way's right and their way's wrong. It's just what I would or would not do as a booker. There's always going to be that, but you can see this with Bill. Like this is a direct splashback to some much earlier time. We're going to get the two tough guys out there. We're going to do this, and it's going to be great. Like you said, when seemingly on for days, right? But Kevin comes up off that and plays it as only he could. And I was telling him, I said, what else could he have done? It's pretty much what you're left to at that point. It's like the video game. There's only so many options, so many buttons you can push or combinations of buttons. So there's not an unlimited number of possibilities off this juncture in the game. There's 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on what buttons you push. Same thing here. There's only so many things you can or cannot do after that. But I think it really screams out old time, right? Like different era. And I don't think you look at the wrestling fans even watching it, like the fans that are there in the building. Yeah. You can see the wishy-washy look on there. There's no rapture. There's no like, oh, got to catch all of this. And but again, it doesn't mean I'm right and Bill was wrong. It just means that for my personal taste, I think it was completely outdated. And in that particular case, it played out like I would have expected it to play out.